What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Friday. It never gets old. Fist pumping from Fran like she's on Jersey Shore on the other side of the camera. I love to see it. And as always, this podcast is presented to you by Macy's, our favorite place to shop. And right now, it's holiday gift giving season. We're in the territory, guys. If you're not shopping for gifts right now, then you're dropping the ball. And I am speaking to myself because I need to get on it, which is I'm going to do that later. I'm going to go on Macy's.com. I'm going to start shopping because I find myself doing a lot of last minute shopping. Okay. I'm only 23 years old. I'm not on top of the game. I'm still stuck in my 18-year-old self who didn't really care about giving gifts to people and would just be like, oh, the day before, what am I going to do? Not anymore, guys. I'm getting older. I'm an adult. I'm shopping on Macy's.com for the gifts this holiday season. You can use promo code CHICKS. You'll get 30% off. And also, if you go to Macy's.com/chicksintheoffice, you can see everything that Fran and I bought so far.
Yes. I believe our code is good till December 9th. So get on that. It's so many great things. Like Rhea said, it's time to get shopping. I bought my boyfriend some shirts and a sweater from Macy's, starting to get those Christmas gifts organized. They got some really nice like Henleys, cute boy clothes, good cute boy clothes. And I just got a new jacket. I just got new boots. What else did I buy? Oh, the leggings that have the fleece material on the inside that are like leggings, but they keep you so cozy. Mm-hmm. They're amazing. Cotton On makes some on Macy's that I just bought, that I just got in the mail, that I love. So like Rhea said, all of our favorites, Macy's.com/chicks in the office. You can see everything that we're shopping.
I got to be honest. I forgot we were doing a podcast there, and I just gave you an as if we were in just a casual conversation. I meant to say yes, Fran. I know what you're talking about. It's my bad. I was like, sure. Mm-hmm. I sometimes when I talk to you, I just forget. I feel like we're just talking to each other. But Macy's.com/chicks in the office. Go there and shop right now. Francesca, how are you doing on this lovely afternoon?
I am well, Rhea. This has been. I don't know. It's this week. The week after Thanksgiving is always kind of weird because you sort of you get a slow start to the week, and then all of a sudden it's Thursday or Friday. This week kind of flew by. I think that also had to do with there was a football game on Wednesday afternoon, and it was basically the Sunday Night Football broadcast on Wednesday. So I was under the blanket, cozy Wednesday. It's 6 p.m. I thought it was Sunday at 9:30. So it's really kind of threw me off. But other than that, it's been a good week. We're into December this year. I know all we do is complain about 2020 is the worst year ever and everything. And thankfully, it's almost over. Sometimes I do feel like it's still March, but it's December. We're almost there. We're almost there where we can say that this year is over.
Yeah, we are. I was actually thinking about that earlier, where every single year on December 31st, you start to see the Instagram posts, the Twitter posts, the social media posts about how everybody had the best year of their life. They can't wait for 2021. This year is not going to have that. If anybody writes that they had the best year of their life, they're going to get canceled. They're going to be like, fuck you. This was not the best year of your life. And if it was, you're an asshole, because it was nobody's best year. That's for sure. I was thinking about that and I was like, no, I can't wait for 2021. I hate this year. It just seems like things go good, then they go bad. They go good, then they go bad. We had a pandemic that we're still living through. So you can't really say it was the best year. So if I see anybody posting that this year, I'm going to throw hands.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? We're getting through it. We're still on this Zoom grind. We're getting through it. Our podcasts now are on YouTube. I know we talked about that when we did our recap with Trent that you can watch. If you haven't listened to that episode yet, or you're still catching up on The Bachelorette, you can watch us recap the whole show now on the Chicks in the Office YouTube. So that's fun. And if you just want to listen or watch and see our faces while we talk, you can do that now. And all of our Zoom guests will be on here too. Chad Michael Murray today. You get to watch our Zoom with Chad Michael Murray.
Very exciting. It's making me incredibly self-conscious. I am thinking about my motions way too much. So if you're watching the YouTube and you're like, hey, I just did a nice wave. If you're watching the YouTube and you're like, Rhea looks weird, it's because I am thinking so much about where I'm looking, because I didn't think that in the studio, like when we were recording The Bachelorette in the studio, but because we're on Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm looking at myself. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at Noah.
You can hide yourself view.
I know,
okay,
but you never.
I'm gonna do that.
You never look at the camera.
Oh, I just hid myself. That's perfect. And now I'm hiding. How do I hide you, Noah?
You have to click on my thing, I think. Although the only thing is that if you are the backup record and mine for some reason doesn't, then I don't think we'll have your camera.
Oh, okay. I just put myself back on. Never mind.
Yep.
Anyways,
it's just because you're never looking, like you're not talking and looking into the laptop camera like I'm doing right now. Like that would be how it would normally be if you were looking right into the camera.
Wait,
but we look at each other.
I just remembered that people will see me posing during the Chad Michael Murray interview. I forgot about that. Oh, a little background info.
Yeah.
Noah obviously takes screen grabs from our podcast and makes them into a thumbnail. And sometimes during the interview, I will purposefully, there I go again. Purposefully is not a word. Is it?
No,
purposefully?
I think it is.
No, you're
right.
good. You will
And
purposely pose.
They should choose one. Those two words existing is not good. Go
you
with one of
pose
those.
on purpose.
I pose on purpose because I want Noah to get a good thumbnail. And it's not always that I pose, but then I see a thumbnail where I don't like, and then the next one I remember to pose. While Fran asked Chad Michael Murray about football, I started posing. I was like, this is my time. I don't need to pay attention to him right now or Fran. They're talking about football. I'm going to add nothing to this conversation.
If you didn't say this, people would have thought like, oh, she's just a big Bills fan.
Yeah, I was like smiling a lot.
Actually, it's going to be so funny because if you do go watch on YouTube, it's like we're talking about the Bills and Rhea's like this.
Oh yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, you could see. Yeah, I'm smiling.
Smiling directly into the camera.
Yeah. Anyways, now people will know, they'll get a good chuckle out of it. But I also want to say, moving on, I talked about my edible story on Thanksgiving last Monday's podcast, and I had so many people DM me their crazy edible stories. And I just want to say thank you. If I didn't respond to you, I definitely read it. I was sitting to myself laughing at a lot of these stories. People are ending up in the hospital left and right. It made me feel a lot better, and they were saying I made them feel a lot better. So it was just a great moment, to be honest.
I love everybody coming together in that moment. It's just like the support. It's there. You were kind of nervous to tell the story, but it was well received.
I was nervous to tell the story because I was like, I don't want people to think that all I do is like smoke weed and take edibles, because that's not true. Can you confirm that for everybody?
Confirmed, not true. Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like sometimes that's what people think and it's just not true. But when I got a good story, I got to let it fly on the podcast. That's my rule of thumb. When something traumatic happens to me in real life, I must share it as entertainment.
Absolutely. Noah, I have a quick question for you before we get into the topics.
Are you guys about to fight right now?
Yeah, no, I have a question about the YouTube because, like, are people going to watch you? Like, is your little square going to be in this?
I'm not putting myself on here.
So so you're just going to be like a voice?
I mean, whenever I talk, you'll just hear me and you'll see you guys listening.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to see.
That would be so weird if I was just like you just there, but like for the most
when you
part,
talk,
like,
you could maybe. I know, but I'm saying when you talk, maybe you have your little picture pop up, like a tiny Noah at the bottom.
I think you should absolutely add a little video of yourself. Like right now, if you don't add yourself talking into this, you're fired. If I watch this video after and I don't see your face, Noah, you're done for. You're absolutely done for.
Maybe I'll splash it.
Just kidding. I just wanted to start I just wanted to start some beef with Noah. I'll bring up what I'm talking about because it made me laugh so hard. I got a DM earlier from somebody and I didn't answer her yet. So if she's listening to this, I'm really sorry. And I will warn you. I won't say your name, but I will answer before you listen to this. I gotta get it up. It honestly made me laugh really hard. And I was workshopping responses for a while until I decided not to respond. She writes, Hi, Rhea. I'm a huge fan of Chicks in the Office and have been a listener for years. But weird question. Do Fran and Noah have low-key beef? I feel like there's always some tension. Let me know, LOL.
Oh man.
Just started dying because I was like, this girl, I love that she thinks we're close enough, even though we've never spoken, that I'm going to let her know if you guys have beef. Even if you guys did, we don't. But if you did, I'm going to respond and be like, yeah, you know what? They have these creative differences and they butt heads. And I'm always in the middle of it. And it's quite uncomfortable.
Story. Yeah.
I typed some things out. I was like, you know what? Better off not responding. Let's talk about it on the podcast.
No beef. Noah's like my kid brother. Like, it's just.
I feel like in the radio days, we did like go at it more. Like when we were on radio
definitely
every
did.
day.
We definitely did.
I will say though, and maybe it is because Noah and I call Fran mom often, but it's because she treats us like we're her kids or her little siblings. And it's like, you know what? We're all equal, okay? We're one and the same.
Yeah.
Well, I respect you, but I respect you both immensely, but
no, she definitely does like have
a
mom or like older.
It's just my personality. You can't
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately just my personality. So
it is what it is. We're just going to have to deal with it. Although sometimes I feel like I'm in trouble, but you know what? I like feeling like a rebel.
Sometimes you are in trouble.
No, I'm a bad girl and I can't be tamed.
I'm kidding. Yeah.
Okay. It's time to get into today's topics. We got some good ones. We got Larsa Pippen being a snake ass hoe once again.
Back at it
seen
again.
out with Malik Beasley, who is a basketball player who has a wife. We have hilarious Kardashian TikToks where they FaceTime all of their famous friends. Chrishell Stause has a new boyfriend, aka Keo, Dancing with the Stars dancer, not Gleb. Rihanna A AP Rocky sparked some dating rumors. People are saying they're dating. We'll talk about that. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting really nervous because I want it to be true and I'm afraid it's not. And we have Erika Jayne drama. It seems like her and her husband are in hot water. They've been charged with fraud and embezzlement.
Problems,
people are
major
saying
problems.
That's why Erika Jayne and her husband got a divorce. And you know what? It makes sense to me. And we have an awesome interview. An awesome interview with Chad Michael Murray. Absolutely amazing. I was freaking out before this interview.
She was
really freaking out before this interview. I told Fran and Noah I was having anxiety like no other. Number one, because I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Two, I was afraid he wasn't going to like us. I thought he was maybe,
you were having a brief, like, never meet your heroes moment.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes we are asked if we want to interview somebody and I'll say no. And Fran's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, well, I'm afraid to meet them because I like to leave something to the imagination. Then I'm like, all right, for our job, we must. Chad Michael Murray being one of those people. But it was a really, really amazing interview. Highly suggest listening. Well, you're listening to the podcast right now, so you probably will. Yes. Anyways, let's get into it. Starting off with Larsa Pippen. Larsa Pippen was spotted out with Malik Beasley, who's a basketball player who also has a wife. She was wearing overalls with no bra, holding hands with this basketball player, and his wife had no idea. She was also taken by surprise.
Anytime we talk about Larsa, it's not good. It's really like there's some kind of feud or a problem, or she's ratting on she's exposing secrets, whatever it is. This situation is beyond. First of all, she was wearing like an apron with nothing underneath. Like it looked like she was having sexy kitchen time with her boyfriend and went out in public. Sometimes you're like, oh yeah, like maybe you're spicing it up. Maybe you're cooking in the nude. I don't know what people are into, but you put an apron on and nothing else. And I felt like that was kind of what these vibes were, but they were holding hands, being photographed. He commented on one of her Instagrams a couple weeks ago, basically asking her out on a date, like saying that he wanted to take her out on a date publicly, not even in a DM. It was a public comment on her Instagram coming from someone who is married. He is only 24 years old, but he is married. And who knows what shit he was telling Larsa? The rumors are that he told Larsa that his marriage was over, that it was ending or whatever. His wife, very different story.
Larsa Pippen is a snake ass hoe. I say it all the time and I stand by it. That is the definition of a snake ass hoe. She is always scheming, doing something dirty. She's always just, getting in people's business, making people talk about her, causing a ruckus. And I think it's all for attention. I think that Larsa Pippen needs attention. She's not friends with the Kardashians anymore, so she's not getting that attention from them. And now she's like, all right, I'm just going to date a bunch of people. I don't really give a fuck if they're married. I don't care anything about them. If I'm going to be spotted out, I'm going to get paparazzi pictures taken of me. I'm in on it. Now, here's where the questions come in, because apparently Malik Beasley's wife, she had no idea. She wrote, I feel like I don't even know him, totally blindsided by the situation. Now, he commented on Larsa Pippen's picture publicly on Instagram. Yep. To me, you have to know that people are going to see that. Like, you can't be dumb enough to think nobody's going to see that. So when he says, or she says, that Larsa Pippen was told by him that his marriage was over, maybe it was. You know what I mean? Because I feel like unless he's a wild boy and this guy just doesn't give a fuck, he's commenting on people's Instagrams, he's married, he's going out with them, and he just doesn't care. He's like, I really don't care about my wife. I don't care if she sees I'm a big, fat, dumb idiot, and that's that. But I find it, I know there's a lot of stupid people out there, but I find it really hard that somebody would be this dumb if they were truly married. Yeah. Like, wouldn't you be a little more secretive? Like, I've never seen somebody just straight up not give a fuck. Unlike, more like Dominic West, he really doesn't care. That's another person, but him and his wife seem to have that figured out. This is just strange to me. I'm kind of getting the vibe that maybe he isn't really, maybe they're married, but
right. Or maybe his wife had some kind of idea, and now obviously what these pictures come out, it's like, oh, well, this makes me look bad. But it's like, it seems like he is the one doing some shady shit regardless. His wife posted on her Instagram story, her name is Montana Yao, and she wrote, wow, I don't even know this man. This is wild, y'all. I'm seeing it for the first time, just like you all. Also, another woman has come forward since these photographs came out, who said that she has also had some kind of relationship with him. And on top of that, he just seems like he's got some issues. I don't really know too much about Malik Beasley, but after reading this story and then kind of doing some Googling, he was actually charged, I want to say a couple months ago, literally last month, the end of October. He's now facing felony charges for threatening a family with an assault rifle as they looked at homes in his neighborhood. Beasley was charged Thursday, this was in October, with felony threats of violence and fifth-degree drug possession, while his Instagram model wife, Montana Yao, faces the same drug count after nearly 2 pounds of pot was found at the couple's Plymouth home. Okay.
Okay. Weed.
That's a lot of weed, but okay.
Yeah. You tell me they got 2 pounds of coke, and then I'll be like, whoa.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Police responded to the residence after reports that a man, later identified as Beasley, pointed an assault rifle at a couple and their 13-year-old daughter when they pulled up to Beasley's roped-off rental home during a Parade of Homes tour last month. The family then heard a tapping on their vehicle's window while they parked on the side of the road and saw Beasley aiming the rifle at them, telling them to get off his property. So, I don't know. Malik's got a lot going on right now. He's hanging out with Larsa Pippen. Larsa Pippen is accepting this invite, which is also where the more shady shit comes in. It's like, Larsa, when do you maybe say no? Like, maybe you shouldn't go out with this guy. Maybe you shouldn't be seen out with him. Scottie Pippen Jr., her son, is 20 years old. And he tweeted, "Focused on myself and my goals. I'm not responsible for nobody's actions. All good over here." He also liked a tweet that read, Dear Scottie Pippen Jr., if you are reading this, stay focused, kid. Don't worry about social media. I know that's your mom's, but you got to control what you can control. That poor kid. I mean, he 20 years old, plays college basketball. He's got to deal with his mom doing shit like this.
I bet he has kids coming up to him being like, I want to fuck your mom. And that doesn't sound, Noah just shook his head. He's like, that's not right, Rhea. But it's not right, but I bet that's locker room talk.
How bad must it have been when she was with the guy Harry from, like, that's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing. And also Larsa Pippen loves her some basketball dick. I mean, it's obvious and I can't blame her, but she just doesn't care like what she does or what people say, which I always say I admire people like that. So like, in part of it, I'm like, okay, Larsa, you really just do whatever the fuck you want. That's cool. But at the same time, this is awkward because you're kind of like ruining relationships and making your son uncomfortable. And this is not great. As for Malik, I think that, it does sound like he has some issues. So maybe he was married and really just is that stupid. Maybe he's got something going on that we don't know about, which would explain his actions. I never even heard of him until Larsa Pippen, which, basketball fans will probably be upset with me about that. But I heard he's not that good anyway. So
yeah, that is correct. Yeah. So like you said, it's Larsa just keeps getting herself in these situations. And I read a rumor that now, sources are saying whatever, that they're just waiting for this all to blow over for them to be together. So I don't know, man. Crazy stuff from Larsa Pippen once again. But what does she get? Her name and all the headlines. So
yeah. I bet the Kardashians look at all these headlines of Larsa and they're like, this thirsty bitch. They're like,
there she is again.
Kanye's like, good thing you dropped her.
Yep, definitely.
We're about to get into talking about the Kardashians, and the Kardashians love luxury, as do we. We love luxury. We like to pretend we're rich like the Kardashians. What's perfect for that? The Real Real. The Real Real app is the place to be. It's the largest and most trusted source for authenticated luxury consignment. On the app, you can shop and sell top designers 24/7 from anywhere. You got Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Rolex, Fendi, Prada, whatever it may be, you'll get 90% off on your retail. I have been loving the Real Real for years now. I honestly have been. Some of my bags are from the Real Real. I recently just got Fendi slip-on shoes from the Real Real. I saw somebody got them and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna find these, but I'm gonna find them on the Real Real because I'm gonna get them for a little discount while also looking like I'm a bad bitch in my Fendi slip-ons. Right now, you can personalize your shopping experience on the Real Real, save searches for your favorite designers and items in your size, and watch new items stream in. Plus, you can keep tabs on your favorites. Just click the heart next to any item to add it to your obsessions. An app-exclusive feature allows you to share these obsessions with friends and family, perfect for dropping holiday gifting hints. I'm telling you guys out there, it's the perfect place to shop for gifts. I know that some of my gifts that Hank has gotten me for bags that I have wanted that are just not available anymore, but you'll find them on places like the Real Real because people will get rid of old bags that are now coming back in style. You'll find them on the Real Real. It's perfect. It's like vintage. You get an old bag, an old Louis Vuitton bag that you haven't seen in years, and now all of a sudden it's cool again. You'll find it on the Real Real. It's absolutely perfect. So right now, download the Real Real app today to shop and sell your favorite luxury brands and get 20% off select items with code REAL. Once again, that's code REAL. Plus, new shoppers get $25 off their first purchase. Available on the App Store or Google Play. Get the Real Real app today. The Kardashians posted 2 hilarious TikToks where they were all together: Kris Jenner, Kylie Jenner, Kendall Jenner, Khloe Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, and Kourtney Kardashian. And they were FaceTiming their famous friends while sitting together very seriously, looking like a painting. And it was just hilarious. Every celebrity encounter they had, from Justin Bieber, Hailey Bieber, Dave Chappelle, they had Addison Rae, they had David Dobrik, they had James Charles, they had
Jennifer Lawrence.
I mean, that was incredible. The reactions were priceless because everybody was scared, obviously.
Right.
You know, Kris Jenner sitting in the middle with her arms crossed. You're about to get sued.
I love Jennifer Lawrence's reaction because it seemed like maybe they had tried to FaceTime her and she did not answer. And she like was trying to confirm that was actually whoever's phone it was. Maybe that one was Kris, because I think Jennifer really has the relationship with Kris Jenner. So it's like, because as soon as she answered, she was immediately talking. It was like, she was like, I just wanted to make sure that, and then she was like, what's happening? So it was almost like, it almost seemed like, you know, all these people were really answering all their FaceTimes and just hilarious spots.
I took Jennifer Lawrence's as she didn't have it on herself because she wanted to see them pop up first and then put it on herself. She thought she was getting it.
I respect that move a lot. I do that.
Yeah,
We're like, I don't have it on me.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, she was trying to make sure it was really them. She wasn't getting like pranked.
Right. I think that's what it was. I don't think they called her before. I think it was she didn't have it on herself, and then she was like, I just wanted to make sure it was you guys.
Yeah.
But every reaction was classic. I loved Hailey Bieber's reaction. She looked like she was eating, and then all of a sudden she stopped. She was like, hello? Like everyone was so confused why they were all together. Travis Scott's reaction. Travis Scott and Tristan Thompson were so fucking funny. Tristan Thompson, first of all, was happy as could be. He was like, what's going on? And he was like, hey, what? And you could tell Tristan Thompson was like, fuck, did I get caught cheating again? Do they have the cameras on me again? And then Travis Scott, so funny with the, what's going on? Bye. Like he was not having any of it. He knew, he was like, I'm out of here. Even if they're mad at me, I'm not listening. I'm hanging up.
Exactly. I'm assuming they called most people from Kendall's phone. I feel like there's a majority of all people that Kendall has. And I feel like Kendall would have Justin Bieber in her phone as Jay Bizzle. I don't know if any of the rest of them would.
Absolutely. You know, Hales B, Jay Bizzle, the name Tyler, the creator. Tyler. Like that's
who
Kendall's
do you
phone.
think knows Dave Chappelle that well that they could just like have him? Kim? Why though?
Because of Kanye.
Oh, Kanye. That makes sense.
I think I'm trying to figure. Because the phone was the same. Because I was trying to see if the phone switched to see, if it was different people calling. But I do think it was Kendall's phone because you could see her clicking the FaceTime and then sitting back in most of them. And the way that she had their contacts, you're right. I think that seemed like the way Kendall would have people in her phone.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle was the only one that I was like, Kendall might not have Dave Chappelle's contact information, but someone else in the family definitely does.
I feel like because it was under
David
Dave
Dobrik
Chappelle.
would probably be Kylie, right?
Courtney.
Oh, Courtney.
Courtney and
Addison,
David Dobrik.
Definitely Courtney.
Yeah.
Addison.
Courtney.
Yeah,
Courtney and David Dobrik have like a weirdly friendly relationship. Courtney posted FaceTiming him the other day. It was like, all right, cool. I'm trying to, who else was on there?
Addison's made me laugh too, because it's like the people who were actually were in the middle of doing stuff and answered were funny. Like she looked like she was getting her makeup done and was like, hi. Like everybody, it really seemed like everyone thought they were in trouble. And the last person you want to be in trouble with is the Kardashian Jenner clan. Like, because they really looked like they were about to be scolded or yelled at or something. And
Tacos was hilarious.
The same with Lala too. Like Lala was in a towel. She's like, what the fuck is going on?
I love how everybody answered. It was like everybody answered right away. I mean, you get that FaceTime, I guess you're answering. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I just want them to keep, like, I wish they did this with 50 more people. I'm sure they have enough contacts to do it. But because everyone was like, we want more. And Chloe had said, oh, there's a part 2. So we got the part 2. But now it's like, I feel like that's probably the end, because how many people could they have called in that one sitting? They all had to sit like statues for every single person that they called.
Do you think it was Kylie's idea? I feel like she posted it on TikTok.
Now, see, I don't know. This is a question for you guys. Is that a TikTok trend or is that something that they came up with?
It's a trend.
Okay,
I've seen that.
It's a trend that other people have done that they did themselves.
It's like I've seen it with like a bunch of girls like FaceTiming guys and
okay.
getting the reactions.
Okay. Yeah, I would assume Kylie would see the TikTok trends more than anybody else.
Or Courtney.
Or or Courtney. It could be Mason. Could have been Mason's idea.
Definitely. They also seem like they're away on a vacation right now. Maybe filming something for Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Right. You don't see them all together like that all the time. Feel like it's kind of hard to get them all organized like that.
And Kendall posted Instagram stories that looked like there was some snow, there was hot chocolate, you know. It seemed like maybe they went to Utah or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, is there snow in Utah? I don't know.
Yeah. That would definitely check out. It makes sense. And these were fantastic. I really wish that there was so much more of them.
People magazine has reported that Rihanna and A$AP Rocky are potentially dating, and I'm freaking out.
This is a thing. This is a topic. We want to talk about it. We have no more information, you know? Like, it's like...
I have some.
You do? Okay, let's hear it. Wait, before we hear, I will say, because it's only like, hey, People magazine thinks they're dating, and I feel like our reaction is, oh God, please. I hope so. Like, what is it?
I really hope they are. This has been a long-standing rumor. Honestly, for years, people have said that they have been like friends with benefits. They've had a little flirty connection. We've seen them perform on stage together with A$AP Rocky grabbing Rihanna's ass. Like, we've seen the connection. Recently, I think they did an interview. Maybe it was for Vogue or Harper's Bazaar. I can't remember exactly which one, but they just seemed very like friendly, like good friends. So I was like, I don't know if they're dating, but I do know that it's always a rumor. Recently, they were out in New York City, but they were out with a group. So for me, that just doesn't cut it. Them being out with a group doesn't mean they're dating. But Tyler, the creator, did like a tweet about him being like the third wheel in the relationship with A$AP Rocky and Rihanna. And I feel like it was like a picture, and it was like, I feel like this is Tyler with A$AP Rocky and Rihanna. And I feel like Tyler, the creator, liking that tweet almost confirms it, but not totally. Maybe he just thought it was funny, but I don't think he would like something if it wasn't true. Like if A$AP Rocky and Rihanna weren't dating and then Tyler, the creator, liked that, I feel like A$AP Rocky would be like, what the fuck, bro? Why are you making people think we're dating when we're not? But he did like it. And
it confirms that even if they're not dating, that there's some kind of special connection between those two.
There's something. And I will add, last year when I was at Rolling Loud in New York, and I saw Rihanna. She walked past me, no big deal, and she smelled amazing, like literally amazing. I bought her perfume afterwards because it's like life-changing. Like, I know people have said for so long, it was like, what does Rihanna smell like? We wanted to know so badly because that's like this phenomenon that Rihanna smells amazing. And I swear to God, I smelled something so good, and I looked up and Rihanna was walking past me. And that's a dead serious true story. That's how fucking good Rihanna smells. And
is it the perfume? Like, you bought the perfume. Is it that perfume smell, or is it even something more special?
I can't really tell because it's not something. I feel like it smells differently on me than it does on Rihanna. Yeah, you know, when you smell something on yourself, I don't think you can tell. I will add, that was the night that A$AP Rocky was headlining, and there were no reports that Rihanna was there. Nobody talked about Rihanna being there. She didn't post about being there. She just was there. And she showed up right before, because I showed up at the same time she showed up. We were walking in this same entrance. That's how she walked past me. She showed up right before he started performing. So she was only there for A$AP.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that could be a good friend thing, but also maybe a little lover's connection.
Yeah. You also showed up just for A$AP, so maybe
yes, that's what I love. A$AP Rocky, and I showed up just to see A$AP Rocky. I showed up right before he got on. Like I cut it real close. I almost didn't make it. That's how soon she showed up before A$AP Rocky performed.
Yeah,
strictly for him. She wasn't going to waste
same timeline.
Yeah, we were on the same wavelength. We were like, we only care about Rocky. Let's get there at the same time. Me and Rihanna, we planned it, but I feel like that's like a special connection. You know, she went out of her way. And let me add, we were going through the same entrance. I was on a fucking golf cart. She was walking for ASAP Rocky. Not to brag. But
not to brag, but totally bragging.
You should have offered her
totally
a ride.
bragging. I would have, but there wasn't enough room, to be completely honest.
Oh, God, at that point, you kick someone out.
No, I know, but I had my 2 friends with me. I was gonna be like, all right, one of you can't come. Rihanna's got to jump on. But yeah, no, I'm big bragging right now. Yes, I smelled Rihanna, and yes, I was on a golf cart and Rihanna was walking. That's a big brag. But
definitely,
it was all for A$AP Rocky.
Definitely is. So look, we don't really have much more to say about these two other than we really hope this is true. Like, really hope this is true. Really hope they're together. They would be an awesome couple. They have that friendship foundation. They've spent so many years like knowing each other where maybe they're taking the next step. You know, Rihanna was in a long-term relationship. And now maybe this is the time for them to connect. It would really just be amazing. They were spotted out in New York together, but with a bunch of, a group of friends. Wasn't just the two of them. They were in a group, but I don't know. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
They would be the hottest couple in the entire world if it's true. And I've said it before, but I would have a threesome with them. Yes.
Yeah, they're your dream threesome celebrity couple.
Threesomes are not my thing because I feel like I would get very jealous. Yep. I feel like I wouldn't really want to be a part of a threesome because if I'm left out on the edge of the bed crying while the other two are enjoying themselves, it would really ruin my self-esteem. But
if you had to pick.
But if I had to pick and I had to be
them,
part
you're
of
just
one,
like, you're happy to be there.
Yeah, I'm just exactly like I can't do that with Hank, but if I am a part of one with Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, I'm just happy to be.
You're just because you're not involved in the couple problems. You're in, you're out.
I'm in, I'm out.
Thanks for having me.
If I'm sitting on the edge of the bed being left out, I'm glad I'm watching. I'm getting a front row seat to one of the best shows in the world. Yeah. So I feel like, I would love to have a threesome with them if they're open to it. The only threesome I want to have is A$AP Rocky and Rihanna. So please, if you guys are listening and you want to give me a call, I'll talk to Hank, see if I can get it arranged, if he'll allow me to, and we can proceed.
Chrishell Stause seems like she has a new boyfriend. She is hanging out, kissing, there's hugging, social media with Keo, one of the Dancing with the Stars pros. I know everybody thought that maybe Chrishell and Gleb had something going on. We thought Chrishell and Gleb had something going on after all the drama with Gleb's wife and they're breaking up and his wife accusing him of having having multiple affairs. But this seems like Chrishell did find love on Dancing with the Stars, but it was with another pro. And I gotta say, adorable, very cute pictures. It's just like, whoa, that just did not see it coming at all.
Yeah, I'm really happy for Chrishell because I feel like this clears her name of the Gleb drama. I definitely thought she was having an affair with Gleb. Yeah, I'll say it. I definitely thought she was. But you know what? Good for her. I'm glad that she found love on Dancing with the Stars, shove it in Justin Hartley's face, add him to the season of Selling Sunset, and we got a hit.
Exactly. They're just two obviously very attractive people. There isn't really a Dancing with the Stars pro who is not attractive. And I love this because you don't have the pressure of dating your partner, but you also are dating another professional dancer, like who's so smooth. So like they can continue dancing all over the place. Like he's got the moves. I'm trying to think. Yeah. So, oh God, he's like reposting all these stories of the two of them. It's so cute. He wrote, "I will always make you smile." Like it's very sweet.
That's cocky.
On the cheek. He's resharing.
Not you always make me smile. I will always make you smile.
He's like resharing friends that are like reposting, being like, so happy for you guys. Barbara from Barbara Corcoran commented on his Instagram saying, 2 people I love. He reshared that. Let's see. Oh, Babs was onto something. I guess Barbara had reshared on her story. She was talking to Chrishell. She posted on her story, when I joked about Keo with Chrishell last week, I had no idea they were an item. I wonder what, I got to go back and watch what Babs was saying, but good for her. Very cute couple. Keo would be a good mix to Selling Sunset.
Yeah, he would. Absolutely. I think it's funny because I feel like when the Gleb stuff came out, they were all probably laughing behind the scenes. Like, haha, they think Chrishell's with Gleb, but she's really with Keo, having a good laugh about it. Because I know that at our job here, when we see people like commenting about people being or whatever, like, oh, those two are definitely hooking up or whatever it is, and they're just totally not. I think it's hilarious. It always gets a laugh out of people. And I feel like that's with any work situation that's public like that. Like even with Outer Banks, probably when people and nobody ever shipped Chase Stokes with anybody else but
Anybody else, yeah.
Madeline Klein. But if they did, it would be funny because behind the scenes they would know that.
Yeah. A source told E that they are dating and it's very new. It happened after they were both eliminated from Dancing with the Stars and were able to hang out with other people. Some sources said Chrishell and Keo had flirty chemistry and it was definitely something they couldn't deny. The cast was pretty close and many people noticed the pair had a lot of chemistry together while hanging out in groups. They are into each other and are hanging out. So here we go. Public.
I want to call bullshit on one part of that statement, though.
Okay.
They said that they started dating after Dancing with the Stars ended and they were allowed to hang out with other people. That's definitely not what happened. They just need to put that in because Dancing with the Stars people kept saying they weren't allowed to hang out with other people. But then they mentioned that they did have chemistry when they hung out in groups. So they definitely did hang out in groups and they acted like they didn't hang out in groups. But they did because they were all quarantined together in the same like hotel or whatever it was. Or maybe at home or whatever it may be. So I feel like they lied about that, but that's okay. I'm happy for them.
Probably had some flirty banter going on, off stage and whatnot. So it's a very cute couple. Happy for Chrishell. I feel like this is like Dancing with the Stars is just giving her a new start in her love life. Some craziness going on with Erika Jayne. I know that there's been a lot of Bravo headlines this week, but this is the one that stood out the most to us because we've been following along, obviously, with Erika Jayne for a long time. And we were shocked when she and Tom announced that they were getting divorced. But it seems like there is a lot more to this. That this divorce was maybe in order to protect some of their money against lawsuits for allegedly embezzling funds. So Tom's doing some shady shit.
Yeah, once I saw this headline, I immediately thought that's why they got divorced. Everybody was shocked why they got divorced. Oh my God, they've been together this long. Why wouldn't they just stick it out? Yeah, this would make sense why people would get divorced. I mean, Teresa and her husband, remember them?
Yeah.
That didn't last long once they got caught. That was an immediate like, okay, well, we're both going to jail. We're probably not going to be together anymore. Like, I feel like this is some shady shit. It's definitely not good that Erika Jayne is involved. And I'm hoping to see it play out on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I can't imagine she's willing to share a lot of this, but you would.
I mean, Teresa did.
Oh, yeah, but
Teresa, Joe, the whole family, it was all it was about.
Absolutely. But they, I think, they are way more willing to dive into those topics than I think the Beverly Hills women are. The Beverly Hills women are always like, we don't talk about, like, they didn't talk about Dorit's lawsuits. They the money thing, they start to get weird and they don't really dive into it as much as we would all like. But not only does now the divorce seem like it was an attempt to maybe hide money or split money or whatever it is. Tom was allegedly taking money from like victims. So I'll read part of this article. Erika Jayne and Tom, this is from the USA Today. Erika Jayne and Tom Girardi of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills are being accused of a sham divorce announcement in order to protect themselves against a lawsuit for allegedly embezzling funds meant for families of the victims of the fatal 2018 Lion Air plane crash. They announced their divorce a month ago. The two were accused of announcing their divorce as a sham attempt to fraudulently protect Tom's and Erika's money from those that seek to collect on debts owed by Tom and his law firm. Girardi and his LA-based law firm are, quote, locked in a downward spiral of mounting debts and dwindling funds, and the two owe tens of millions of dollars to clients, lenders, co-counsel, settlement administrators, and experts, to name only a few. He was among other attorneys who aided in a lawsuit against Boeing following the 2018 Indonesian plane crash, during which a Boeing 737 MAX crashed into the sea and killed 189 people. Girardi is, he's considered one of like the nation's top trial lawyers for wrongful death and products liability suits. But the lawsuit is claiming that Tom, with the help of his colleagues, held on to a significant portion of that money and potentially all of it, sharing with his friends and family and evading attempts from the crash victims to obtain their shares. At the heart of this deception is Girardi and his need to fund outrageous lifestyles for himself and his soon-to-be ex-wife, Erika Jayne. To keep up their celebrity status, Tom and Erika must project a public image of obscene wealth at all times at whatever costs. So this is wild. This is crazy. This goes deeper than I think a lot of us expected. That Tom was and his firm are possibly holding money from victims of these crashes and just keeping it for themselves.
That's fucking insane. And the fact that they added that they need to like keep up a celebrity lifestyle. I mean, because they're in Beverly Hills, she's on the show. We're also Beverly Hills. They put out this really rich lifestyle. It's just fucking sad to see people get so greedy. Like, yeah, to become that greedy is almost sickening. And I feel like they have what's coming for them. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to pull that shady shit, you better expect that this is going to get blown up.
Yeah, it does seem like they started to catch on that things were maybe going to hit the fan here. And they are going through this divorce now, accused of this sham divorce, to try and salvage some of, I guess, maybe the money that they could. And this just seems like it's going downhill fast. So I'm sure we'll get more updates, more details from the lawsuit, but had a lot of material for Andy Cohen to work with. We have our interview with Chad Michael Murray coming up. It is fantastic. Can't wait for you guys to listen to it. But before we get into it, I just want to remind you that if you want a moment to chill, you need some relaxation time, you need to reach for a Coors Light. It's the official beer of Chicks in the Office. We love our Coors Light. And you know what? When we spend a whole day recording, we're talking so much, I just want to sit in silence, maybe, whether I'm watching TV or just hanging out. I want that relaxation time. I want that reset time. There's a ton going on, but it's just the best way. It's just the best way to unwind. You go to your fridge, you open it up, you see that Coors Light in there. You see that the mountains are blue. You know that it's cold and ready to go. And you crack it open, and it is so delightful. Plus, Coors Light now has a new packaging. It's already hitting the shelves. It's really cool. The new design features clear skies that invite you to sit back, unwind, and drink it all in. The iconic Coors Light mountains still turn blue when your beer is cold. Like I said, that's when you know your beer is good to go. It's a brand new look with the same ice cold refreshment. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. It's literally made to chill. Coors Light is the best beer to just unwind, chill out, relax. Every time I say this, I think chill out, relax. Like if the Fresh Prince song starts playing in my head, but Coors Light is so great. And like I said, if you want to unwind, reach for the beer that is literally made to chill. That's why Coors Light is the one we choose when we need to unwind. So when you want to hit reset, reach for the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light and the new look delivered straight to your door at get.coorslight.com. Always remember, celebrate responsibly. Is coming from the Coors Brewing Company in Golden, Colorado.
We are here with a very special guest, Chad Michael Murray. Welcome to the show, Chad.
Well, thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
My first question, listen, like right off the bat, I said before we started this interview, I was like, I need to know why Michael? Like why did we keep the Michael and why wasn't it just Chad Murray?
The age-old question.
Yeah.
It's it was an accident. Ironically enough, when I came to Los Angeles in '99, and I became a member of SAG, there was already a Chad Murray that existed, He was like, at the time, he was like a 42-year-old actor who I'm not sure had worked in quite some time. And they said, well, unless you want your checks going to him, you better put your middle name in there. And I said, okay. You know, I had like this confidence, like I was going to get checks or something. And so I put in the Michael, and sure enough, I think it was, I was doing Gilmore Girls or something, and boom, there it is in the credits. And I'm like, oh, I'm only called Chad Michael Murray when my dad's scolding me. But such is life. It's stuck, and I guess it has a ring to it. So she stayed.
It definitely does have a
definitely,
ring to it. I would say Chad Michael Murray was the way to go. I think it worked out in the end. And you did get some checks. You weren't wrong.
Got some checks. That guy would have been happy probably receiving the checks, but I'm good. I'll take them.
Yeah, he would have got some fat paychecks. All those iconic TV shows and movies.
I've been really blessed to make fun stuff. I'll tell you that much. It's been fun to make some fun stuff.
Yeah, we have really enjoyed it, and just would love to check in with you on how you've been. How's life been going? Have you been at home? Like, what's the day-to-day like for you guys now?
Oh goodness, you know, to be honest with you, we've been really blessed. Thank you for asking. We've been really lucky. Obviously, we've been primarily quarantined for the most part throughout the pandemic. Starting, when did we get back? We got back in January from one convention, and then after that, we pretty much stayed home all the way up until July. And right out of July, I shot 3 movies back to back to back. One in Los Angeles, and then, which was really stressful. Just the idea of shooting, I think we were getting like, 3,500 to 4,500 cases a day back then. I know that's nothing compared to now, but at the time it was really stressful because it was the highest we'd been, and the idea of going back to work in a new environment was all really stressful. And once kind of knocked that out of the way, then it was a little bit easier. And then we went up to Canada and shot 2 more, and we shot called North Bay, where no cases for like 90 days straight. It was almost like back to normal. It was actually quite fascinating, and we could take the kids to the playground and just live a little bit. So it was nice. Then we've been back for about a month, just taking it easy, soaking up the California sun.
Yeah, that sounds like it's been nice for you guys. When you were in Canada, were you like, damn, should we stay? Should we just stay here?
I'm not going to lie. The thought crossed our mind.
Yeah.
No question about it. Thought crossed our minds. Quite a lot, actually. I mean, I love Canada in general. The people are just so kind, and everyone greets you with open arms, or at least the people that we've crossed paths with. Everybody's really been very open and loving and nurturing up there. Whenever we filmed in Vancouver or Ontario, wherever we were, feels very much like where I'm from, Buffalo, New York. And I mean, Buffalo's practically Canadian anyways, right across the border. 20 minutes from Niagara Falls, right there. But I just, we talked about it, be nice to just stay up here where there's no COVID. But, alas, we got kicked out of the country. You got to come back.
Yep. Eventually you got to come back. But that sounds really nice. And I got to say, now we're moving into, the holidays, and Christmas is coming up, and you have kind of become like the king of Christmas. I feel like now you have all these Christmas movies. I'm a sucker for a love story, and I'm a sucker for Christmas. And you got these holiday movies have both of them. The Lifetime movie, Too Close for Christmas, is airing on Lifetime tonight. This will air on Friday, December 4th at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central. It looks absolutely adorable. What can you tell us about this movie?
This is a fun one. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you so much. I'm a dad. I want to make family fanfare. It's just, it's better than, having my kids have like pictures of my butt post up in their locker later on down the road. Trust me, these things cross your mind when you're a dad. You go, I don't know. It's probably not going to go well for my son if he's, on the football team and there's dad. But long story short, the film's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's Too Close for Christmas, and one of the films we shot in North Bay. And I just really fell in love with the script due to Paul's relationship with the world, the way that he sees things. I thought that he had a very ironic sense of humor, and he kind of, as they would say, took the piss out of everything. And you know, I don't know if you guys have been privy to see the film yet, but he's just always one step ahead, always just kind of poking the bear all the time. And that was fun for me. It kept me really juiced up to find something new and find creative ways to bring different scenes to life instead of having your kind of two-handed, stagnant, you know, just kind of talk, romantic scenes. I wanted to add some life to it and find some irony in every beat. And that's what was fun about Paul.
Yeah, and it was a quick turnaround, huh? Because you said that you recently filmed it, and now it's coming out. It's Friday, December 4th.
Probably the fastest turnaround I've ever experienced in the 21 years I've been doing it. So we'll see how the final product looks on tonight at 8 p.m. I'm guessing, Friday at 8. But yeah, it was quick. I think the director only had 5 days to make a cut, which is far from normal. But with the pandemic, everything got pushed. You know, a lot of these films shoot in March, April, May. We were shut down. So they couldn't get permits, get everything ready to go, get locked and loaded, get the country open, and people shooting in Canada until, you know, we were there in September. And so you shoot in September, you're shooting for 3 weeks. You have an editor's cut, director's cut, bringing in your actors to do a little bit of ADR mixing, get your sound mixed, color time, boom, 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 box it up, find a home for it, and you're off to the races. So it was pretty quick, fast turnaround.
Yeah, our producer who's listening right now is probably mind blown by that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like 5 days to edit something is wow. Great job to whoever did that. I mean,
yeah, I mean they were doing a rough assembly as we shot, of course. So you've got your, you know, editor who's just every day something comes in, and you've got your starred takes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But still, to get something that you want to actually sell, I mean, you got to make sure that they're putting in long hours just to kind of crank this bad boy out. They're not leaving the studio. They're not going home and sleeping. Mm-hmm. They're just, all right, next shift. So, but they cranked it out. And again, I just think it's fun. I just really think it's fun. I think it's really lighthearted. And, you know, I found myself giggling throughout it. And that for me amuses me. And that's what I like.
Yeah, and you star in this movie with Jessica Lowndes, and you've gotten to work with some like amazing women in these Christmas movies, Italia Ricci and Tori DeVito, and all of these like awesome women. How lucky have you been to have like these great co-stars? Oh, are you kidding me? It's awesome. All these girls, I mean, they're just all fantastic, and they're so respectful and kind and pros, and they show up and they do their work, and they're so lovely to my family. You know, I take my family, my wife and kids, they come everywhere we go. We don't break up the pack. It's the way we do it. And so, you know, it's always nice because, you know, the girls end up spending more time with my wife, believe it or not, than they do me. You know, it's like I just shoot on camera, and then girls go off and they have their talks and, you know, a glass of wine on the weekend and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's been it's been a wonderful blessing. I've been lucky to work with the ladies that I have.
That's a lovely thing to hear, to be honest. First of all, you seem like a really dedicated family man, but just to have like your wife get along with the co-stars, the woman you're starring with, I feel like is really important because I don't really know much about, you know, what happens on screen versus off screen with couples who, you know, are playing a couple on the screen with something else. I feel like some may get jealous. Maybe that causes a fight of some sort, but it's nice to hear that your wife is becoming friends with these women and they're having a good time together.
Oh, my wife's awesome. She's cool. That's why I chose, like, all right, you're the one.
That's why you bring her everywhere.
Yep.
Step one. That's step one. But I think yeah, it's vital, right? It's hard to have a relationship in this industry due to those parameters that are thrust upon you. And, you know, it would be far more difficult breaking up the pack and taking 2 months off of a relationship at a time, being thrust into some romantic relationship with a new, you know, person that, you know, you're creating these relationships, and the people that you're paired with are supposed to be these incredibly charming and beautiful and charismatic people, right? It's not a situation that's friendly for relationships. So the way that we try to stage it and set it up for ourselves anyway, the rules that so far are so good are that, you know, we keep the pack together, and we just put God and family first. That's how we function. And everybody's been really responsive and kind. And I've been really blessed to work with good people, that all get along so well with my wife. And, the kids come on set and everybody brings them in, embraces them and watches them grow. So that's fun. But yeah, I think there's a lot of stress. But my wife, she also understands the industry. She's, she was an actress for a while. So she gets all the ifs and buts. She understands everything.
Yeah. Hey, Disturbia is one of those movies that will live on forever. It's like, right? That was such a great movie. Obviously your wife, Sarah, starred in that movie. So it's cool that you guys have that connection. You understand it. You both are from the same world. So it's easier to click. I'm curious because we have been fans of you for a very long time. Look, Rhea and I are One Tree Hill super fans. Didn't want to say it right off the bat, but
all right. We've broken the ice. You go.
We've broken the ice.
Who isn't though? You know what I mean? You can't really find somebody who hasn't watched the show, or at least in my personal opinion, in my life.
It's pretty fascinating. I'm not gonna lie. It's the show is, with streaming services and everything, was rebirthed to a whole new generation. I mean, when I go to these conventions and I cross paths with 13-year-old girls who weren't even born when we started watching the show, when we started filming the show, and they're avid fans and they love Lucas and they're so excited about the relationships and they want to know everything, and they're wearing Tree Hill, Ravens jerseys or cheerleading uniforms. It blows my mind. I mean, the show really spoke to a generation, and it's an honor to have that experience.
Yeah. We actually had Hillary on our show a few months back. Unfortunately, it was through Zoom as well. Of course. But just the way that we have heard you guys talk about this show makes us almost love the show even more, because you guys have such a love for it and a respect for the people that you were working with, and you guys have this connection. And you're like a family that has all grown together. I saw that Tyler Hilton on the Today Show said that you guys have a dad's group chat now called Wild Dads. Can you confirm?
I am the worst texter in the world. I have been a part of these chats. I don't jump on these chats often. However, I'm dadding it up. Right. But Tyler has reached out time and time again. We've discussed just different parenting things. Right. And it's teach his own. Everyone has a different style. But I think Colin, he's kind of leading the pack because he's got the most kids. And he played Junk on the show. And so he's got the most kids. So on the dad chat, we got that. And then Antoine's like the senior rep of the guys, because he had kids before any of us. He had kids when we were on the show. So he's like, oh, you just wait till they're teenagers, and and we laugh about that. But it's funny because you really lean on each other, especially when we come together once or twice a year for these cons, and we meet the fans and all the guys and girls. We get to go backstage, and some of us bring our kids, and it's always mix and match of who brings their kids. I always bring my kids, but the kids are there, and so the kids get to meet each other, and the parents all come together, and you see like Brett Claywell, he just had a kid. He had a baby this past year, and so meeting his baby was just like, it just makes your heart beat, and it's beautiful. I love it. So yes, there's chats and everyone reaches out, but these threads end up getting blown up, and next thing you know, like you're in the middle of one of these and you look down and you're going, oh no, and there's 457 text messages that came.
And then you put it on do not disturb, and then you're good.
Right, all because the baby had an accident, and you're going yes, we know, blowout. I get it. One of my first experiences, and I probably would have posted this back in the day if that chat was around. We were on a plane, my wife and I, and she takes our daughter, and because we have to split up because there's not 4 seats in a row. And so she had our daughter, I had my son, and we were flying to Paris. And within the first hour of the flight, sure enough, we had like a baby who was only 6 months. Things happen. Kids got to go to the bathroom, and sometimes things happen. And next thing you know, it's on my wife's clothes. And you're now on a flight, and you're only an hour into your Paris flight, and you're going, This will humble you quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, can we turn this plane around?
Bring you smashing right down to earth. And so these are the kind of things that are discussed in the chat.
That's amazing.
Things we can't relate to yet, but we're already preparing ourselves hearing from you.
Oh, you guys are going to be great. You're going to be awesome. Look forward to it. It's the greatest adventure. Single-handed greatest adventure in the world. Love it.
You know what? That's great to hear because I feel like nowadays you just hear so many people complaining. Like you'll hear people complaining about their kids all the time, and you're like, damn, like why'd you even have them then? You sound miserable.
I don't subscribe to that. I think teachers, I'm not going to judge anybody for, the way that they go about it. But we hear it all the time. No, your children they're not a burden. Your children are not work. And it's a joy. It is like the most pure joy in the world. I mean, we're really blessed. We got 2 kids and we're lucky enough, of course, to keep the pack together, right? So there's mom and dad with the kids all together, right? 2 parents to the kids. So that I think that breaks it up a little bit and that helps a lot.
Yeah.
But man, it's awesome. Love it.
Yeah. Chad, I want to take you back to like 2003 because I was looking at the dates, and I could not believe that all of these things kind of happened so close together. Like Freaky Friday was 2003. The first episode of One Tree Hill was 2003. A Cinderella Story was 2004. And so I'm curious how like you handled that burst of stardom in a time when people get kind of fame, there's social media, there's so many things that are attached to it. I'm curious what that was like then and how you kind of handled all of that.
Well, not well, I would say. I mean, it's a loaded question, but I feel like a lot of the kids today are far more savvy than I know I was. I had the pleasure to work with all the kids on Riverdale, and they're going through a lot of the similar aspects of what I went through back then. And I think one of the advantages that they have is they're really savvy. They're in this, what was that? I'm
getting a delivery.
Awesome.
That is New York City life. Yep.
Christmas. It's here. The Cyber Monday already showed up. You overnighted it.
I might have.
It's just one of those things where it's they're so on it. They're so responsible. They're so, early to set. They're pros. They know about it. They understand the responsibility and the respect to social media. And they had a generation in front of them. They had Skeet and Luke and Molly and all these people, right? And Gina and all these actors who had come in the generations before them to kind of set an example, right? I think that was huge. I think that's huge. And if I was to ever create a show based in that world, I would do the same thing. Create an older group of people that you have a lot of respect for so that you know how to function. For me, oh gosh, I'm glad there wasn't social media. Camera phones bad enough. My goodness. So, I just think that I came off the boat 1999 and I hit the ground running and was really blessed right out the gate to work immediately. And I didn't understand any of what I was given back then. Holy cow, you don't understand any of it. I mean, my brain was the size of a pea. I was like underdeveloped incredibly. And, it is what it is. So I'm so grateful for all the opportunities, and I had a riot making these movies, and I can appreciate them so much more as the years go on and on and on. And you see all the smiles that cross people's faces. And I think back to making Cinderella Story and how much fun we had just as a cast. Like, it was one of the most fun films I've ever made. Just as a group, it was like a sleepaway camp. It was so much fun. And so you have these experiences, and they grow you and they make you better version of yourself. But I'm so grateful I did go through that, because otherwise I wouldn't be here today, and I wouldn't have my babies and all that other good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think anybody in your position experienced something like that. I think with social media, there's like a good and bad aspect of it. Social media, you see everything, right? Like when you do something, it's on there instantly. Like everyone knows what you're doing at all times. But I also think that there's a lot of people reminding you like how to act on social media. You know, there's always people like yelling at you, pointing fingers.
Oh.
So it's like, it's a little bit of both.
Right. I think that the only difference is I don't think I had much of a governor back then. I didn't have something that helped me say no. So I didn't see, and again, as part of that whole underdeveloped thing, I didn't understand consequence, right? You know, and so I think I would have been the first guy to fire off a tweet. Yeah. And then, you know, the next day have a publicist call you going, what did you do? Why? You delete that and apologize right now.
Yeah.
Oh, the list of apologies that would have gone through my mouth.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, but I love hearing that about those old movies because like I really think A Cinderella Story is a movie that I will probably watch for the rest of my life. It's one of those movies that when I see that it's on TV, it's like I have to stop and watch it. Like whenever it's on Freeform or whatever it is, and you're like, oh my God, A Cinderella Story, there goes the rest of my evening. Like you have to stay and watch it because they're just such great movies. And it's fun that all these things get played back now with Netflix and Hulu and everything. Like you were saying with One Tree Hill, that you have this whole generation of kids who are now meeting these characters for the first time when we have watched the series front to back like multiple times. So it's nice to see the community continue to grow, and you guys do these conventions that look like so much fun. And what do you think Lucas Scott would be up to right now if you could take a guess?
Well, hopefully everything's going well in his mother's relationship with Andy. So that they're still living on a yacht, you know, out floating around the sea out in New Zealand. That would be really quite awesome. Living the life, just writing books out at sea. You know, Lucas is a pirate by now. I've been asked this before and I've thought about it. And, you know, I think an interesting aspect is to think that, you know, at this point, his kids are at the same age that Lucas was when we first started watching the show, right? So the show concluded in 2012. So Sawyer was born in 2009. So now we're in 2020. So, I mean, 11, it's kid's about to become a teenager. So parenting is everything. And I think he's about to get a whole new world of life lessons right now when it comes to raising a kid, especially in today's current society with social media, with how small the world has become. I mean, it's so tiny. It's so tiny. You can reach out and touch anybody you want. It's so crazy. And I think that having to guide the youth through that is a whole new job.
Yeah. So sounds like kind of parallels with where you are in your own life.
Oh yeah. We don't have, kids don't touch social media. I mean, 5 and 3, but yes, still, let's keep that out of here till minimum like 20.
As long as possible. I want to know, because I feel like this is a common theme with people who had really popular shows. They either don't even want to talk about the show, they want to forget it ever happened, or they really embrace it, or it's like you go through a little stage where you hate it, you don't want to talk about it, and then you come back around on it. Where do you think you lie with One Tree Hill?
I don't know. That's a great question. Yeah. That's a really good question. I don't ignore it. That's for sure. I do embrace it. I embrace what the show means to so many. Yeah. There's no question in that. I still to this day, I mean, not right now because everyone's in masks, but, you know, pre-pandemic, you know, go to Disneyland and it's crazy. You know, you walk around with the family and you're doing the family day thing, but you're also taking a couple hundred photos a day, and you have to kind of go, all right, time out. I'm taking a dad day, not at Disneyland. This is one place I'm not doing. I'm with the kid. But you realize just the effect that the show had on so many. And I think you want to embrace that and just continue to nurture those people as much as you can. And then also live up to the expectations that people have for a character like Lucas. I think that that's vital. I think that it's vital that you are a good representative of that character moving forward, right? Now, that doesn't necessarily define your career, and nor does it have to. It's a piece of it. It doesn't make all of you, just like, you're a brunette. That doesn't define who you are. It's a piece of you, right? I'm a blonde-ish with some speckled white in there. That doesn't define me. It's just a piece of me. And so I think, it's part of the story that I'm grateful to embrace, and it will always be a part of me. And it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I just intend to. I believe the best is yet to come. I'm a firm believer in that. And so I just want to tell good stories. And as that audience adapts and grows with me, we'll tell new stories, and hopefully they will hit home in similar ways that Tree Hill did.
Yeah, definitely. And we see that from, your post. We saw that you were for charity doing, the Lucas Scott jerseys for autographing them and setting them out, which is so cool because it's a great way to embrace Lucas and honor him and his character by, helping. I've read St. Jude's, right? Was where it was going.
Yeah. St. Jude's.
That's awesome.
One earlier this year. And I haven't seen the final numbers on this campaign, but the first campaign, I mean, the amount of difference that we made was so massive. I mean, it just made my heart just swell. So, it's a blessing, and it's pretty incredible. And I just love that many people still to this day are like, heck yeah, I'm in. I'm perfect. Scott for 3. Let's do it.
Yeah.
That's pretty special that it carries that much of a significance in a world of 4,000 shows on a day right now. But we also had something going for us that a lot of these new shows don't have. Water cooler talk. I mean, when our show was on and a lot of that generation was in school, I mean, you probably had 60 channels at the time, not the 1,000 that you have today, but everyone watched Tree Hill, and then they went to school and they talk about it the next day. There's not a lot of shows like that because everybody's watching something different, right?
Yeah.
It's very rare you get the Game of Thrones that everyone's seen, except for many have never seen it. I got kids, can't put that on the background.
Yeah, nope,
definitely not. For sure, no. Nope.
No. My kids run around. Why is everybody naked? I don't know. I don't know.
No, you need a babysitter for that one for sure.
Yeah, so I haven't seen that. I've seen every episode of Puppy Dog Pals, but so I think there's differences in the shows that we used to have versus the shows that there are today. The connections are a little different.
Yeah, people.
It would have been interesting to see. Sorry, it would have been interesting to see the social media impact from Tree Hill if it were around at the time.
Oh, it would have been insane. I mean, the thing is, when a show does hit, the social media, like the live tweeting and that aspect is insane. But people move on so fast. Like I was obsessed with the show The Undoing on HBO, right? It just finished. I'm on to the next thing. I'm starting the next show. I'm over that one. But something like One Tree Hill, right? People are still talking about it. They're like, oh, but when you name like the best TV shows of all time or the best TV dramas, like you're naming that one. So absolutely, it's going to stick around for a while. But you have many other projects you're working on. You filmed 5 movies in the past. What was it? 3 months?
I filmed 3
movies.
3, but then there's 2 more. No, did I hear that?
No. I did 3. I have some lined up for next year, but I'm taking the rest of the year off. I'm taking a mental and physical break for the rest of the year. Gonna lock it down with the family and enjoy the holidays. We ain't leaving our home. They get a nice, it's almost, we're about 70% there on Christmas in the house. Mm-hmm. But we shot Too Close, which airs Friday night on Lifetime. And then, which I'll tell you again, a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a different side of me that I don't think a lot of people have seen. A little bit more, just again, a very ironic character, which I love. And then, but yet still the the wink and the nod, Prince Charming aspects to it, which you just have to bring to the table. And then another one called Tycoons, but we are changing title currently, so we don't know where that will end up. But that was a rom-com. And then I did a film called American Boogeyman, Ted Bundy. And it's dark. It's dark. It's dark.
Yeah.
So I can't say much about it.
Yeah. I mean, once you say Ted Bundy, it's like, say no more. We got it.
Yeah. So I can't say much about it because I've been asked not to. But those are the three that I have filed away for next year. Well, one comes out this year, and the other two will come out next year, and then starting something in January and next June. So
awesome.
Awesome. Slowly but surely, just trying to tell stories.
The last thing that I want to ask you really quick is I know that you're a massive Bills fan, and I also do a NFL podcast. Always. What are your predictions for the Bills for the rest of the season? How do you feel? Do we love Josh Allen?
Oh, we love Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Absolutely. I mean, I was actually going to answer the podcast wearing this, looking like a ninja. That's how.
That is awesome.
That's how I was going to start the podcast. I opted out. I didn't want to like overheat in that. I literally just got back from a run. So if I look really red,
it would have been a little sweaty in there.
That would cause some sweating, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I just got back from running in the canyons, and so I'm like dying already. But I love Josh. Not only is he just a great human being, he's just a humble and kind human being, but he's baller. I mean, he is an absolute gamer, and what's crazy is that he's only in his third year, so watching him develop as a passer this year has been extremely satisfying.
Yeah.
Because, what he was really known for was his athletic abilities, right? Well, athletic ability dies over time. Your runners, you slow down as you get old. Trust me, I know. Yeah. 39 now.
Yeah.
I'm not 40 yet, almost.
Yeah.
But that athletic ability, that slows down. You lose a step. But when you become a pure passer and you learn how to move in the pocket and feel around and actually read your defense and go through progressions, very different. And that's what he's doing this year. I mean, we're passing probably 65% of the time to 70% of the time. We need to gauge that a little. We need to change that a little bit because winter's coming and we're going to need to run the ball a little bit more. But yeah, I love Josh. I love the team. We have a lot of friends in the organization. We're just great people. It's a great organization. It's run so well from the top down, from Kim and Terry and their whole family. They do just such a respectable and incredible job creating a living style there that everybody is adapted to and completely bought in. Everyone always said the process, and they used to joke about it. It's a real thing. And so I believe in this team, and I think we're close.
Yeah. Love it. We love Josh Allen. I'm a Philadelphia fan, so I understand the process more than most people do. So I get it. It's rewarding to see that payoff, and it's exciting. It's exciting. Thank you so much for joining us, Chad. Everyone tune in tonight, Too Close for Christmas on Lifetime, 8 p.m. This has been awesome. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much for having me. You guys, happy holidays.
Yes.
Happy holidays.
From the King of Christmas. I called it.
And go Bills.
Yeah. All right. Cheers. Bye, Chad. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate you.
All right. That wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. We hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. We love you very, very much. And we'll talk to you all on Monday.